Hi, Variants. Before I get started today, I am just going to give you a few trigger warnings. First is there will be a mention of self-harm. There won't be any details or anything like that, just mention of it, suicidal ideation, as well as talking about mental health and trauma. If this is not the video for you, I completely understand. Please click off and make sure you go do something to for self-care today. Otherwise, I will see you guys in a moment. Hi, Variants. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a while. I know I look different. I know I'm kind of disheveled, and there's a good reason for that. I am suffering greatly with my mental illness, and I wanted to let you guys know what my journey has been. This is going to be just an introductory video about my journey and kind of give you an idea of why and what happened. And it's not over yet. I am struggling so hard. I've dealt with mental health problems my entire life. And one of the things that truly helped me was seeing other people on YouTube talk about their mental health. That was because this is the first time that I saw it real. You know, people were not being hyperbolic, people were being very honest and open. And quite frankly, that was one of the things that inspired me to go into social work outside of human trafficking, which is one of the areas I'm going to be working in. As well as with LGBTQIA plus youth, which is something I already do. The other reason I'm doing this particular video in this video series is inspiration from DID, which I think they're going by they, them right now. But they are dissociative identity disorder channel, and I will leave a link down the description box with, hopefully I can find this video. If not, I'll link their channel. The reason why I say I think they're going by they, them now is because they're a part of a system. They have dissociative identity disorder, and this is something I've always been fascinated with, but the host right now, I believe, is Kaya. And Kaya goes by they, them. And Kaya made a video when the host body was Nin, I believe. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but this is one of the most important videos I've ever seen in my life. And while we'll refer them to Nin because that's who they were in that particular video, I believe. Nin went through and explained what it was like to be inpatient. So at that point, she was she presenting as she, and then explained what the difference was between inpatient, outpatient, and forcibly inpatient. So the one that I took a lot of attention to was inpatient, and if I had not seen that video, I would not have tried to get the help that I needed. The difference is, unfortunately, DID is in the UK, and in the United States, it's very, very different, but the process of getting inside of the paperwork of things that to expect are very similar, except when you actually get into the facility. The facility is something completely different. So this is the reason I'm doing these videos, is because I want, if somebody like me sees this video, somebody who I really hope you go check out DID's video too, but if somebody sees this video and says, yes, I am worthy of getting help, I need to get help, I hope that some of these steps and processes help you. I will go into as much as I possibly can. Leaving yourself vulnerable and exposed on the internet is obviously very difficult, but it's just as equally as important as my fear of being exposed to let people understand what it's like. I don't know too many people who've talked about this. In fact, I don't know anybody who has ever talked about inpatient care, including family members. And no one knows their story to anybody. You know, the people in my life who have been inpatient, they don't know me their story, but it would have been helpful to at least know that there's somebody out there who has shared an experience and at least given you something to hold on to. The mental health stigma in 2022 is just as bad as it's ever been. I know that there's I guess, kind of an idea that it has gotten better, and it has to an extent. But for the most part, with the experience that I have just went through, I don't believe that mental health is much better than it was in the 50s. And that says a lot, and that's scary. And again, that's just my experience. I don't know what other people's experience are because people are too afraid to speak up. So, hi, I'm Lisa. I have mental health problems. I have had severe anxiety and depression since I was a child. I'm a sexual assault survivor. I have complex PTSD. Brain fog is part of that. And I dissociate. There's other things there that you can put labels on. I'm still going and attempting to get diagnosis because I've been diagnosed and misdiagnosed. I'm also suffering from PMDD, which, if you guys don't know that, that's premenstrual symptom disorder. It's bigger than PMS. It's actually something that causes suicidal ideation. And because of my situation, where you can see on my main channel about endometriosis, I lost the IUD for no fault of my own. It was rejected out of my body, and ever since then, I have been struggling very hardcore. I didn't realize how much an IUD was going to... An IUD. I know I always say it right, the internal uterine something or other. You know what I'm talking about. It's not the IED. Yeah. Anyway, I've been struggling very, very hard since that has happened. My disassociation has also gotten a lot worse, and so much so that that's something I've talked about with medical professionals. And yes, I'm being under the care of medical professionals. Do not do this on your own, guys. I know that there are natural things that can help, and you can use that in conjunction with your doctor. But some of these will have adverse side effects with one another. So I'm talking about certain vitamins and certain things like that can have very adverse side effects with some of the regimens that you may be doing with your medical doctor. Please do not leave this up to only natural treatments. I'm all for natural treatments, but natural treatments only go so far, and you need to realize that the medical help is out there for a reason. Please seek professional help, and that's going to be one of my other things here. I don't mind at all natural remedies. In fact, I prefer natural remedies. But in the case like this, in a case with many of us out there, we are beyond what natural remedies can do at this point. We're not, unfortunately, people who lived in a different time period. We've been genetically modified with food and things like that that we have put in our bodies that have poisoned us through our entire lives, and the natural remedies won't work with us as it did our ancestors, unless you've never had the specific diet that especially Americans eat. And I'm fat, so I'm completely guilty of that. I'm gonna leave all of these raw, so you will see my disassociation, you will see my stuttering, my brain fog. It's not pretty. None of this is pretty. None of this is good. My ramblings. Um, it's okay because I want to show people that this is real, that mental illness sucks, but I can't help it. It's like if I was born with, you know, a lung disease. It's just like that. It is just as important as that. You need to get medically treated for something like that. You can't just do it on your own. And there's no reason for you. I want people to stand up and realize how bad mental health still is. And I'm willing to continue to advocate, not just for me, but for you guys too. So this is the start of the journey, just the introduction, the beginning, and like I said, I'm going to leave all the raw stuff in there. It may be boring for some people, but other people, I hope you realize that this is due so you guys won't be alone, so I won't be alone. It's a lot harder to talk about than I thought, so I'm going to stop for now. But please check out my main channel, which is just Lisa T. Brink, and check out the Endotel. That way you can kind of get some background about my mental illness when it comes to the chemical part of it, which is the premenstrual disorder that is very bad. I also have endometriosis and PCOS. Other people call it polycystic ovarian syndrome. I have it wrong. Or POCO. I don't know. I've always called it PCOS. I'm dyslexic, folks. And a lot of these hormonal issues are deeply troubling for people who have hormonal issues, women, men, whatever the case may be. So, or in between, non-binary. Can't forget our non-binary gals our guys and gals and our non-binary pals. Everybody is valid. Everybody is valid, okay? Safe space. Otherwise, if you guys are going to make this difficult in the comments, you will be banned. And I also know how to skip trace, so just putting that out there. You probably don't want your words all over. And I'll call your mother. You may think I'm joking. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Alright, everybody. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in, Variants, and I will check you guys out later. Again, do some self-care right now. I know this was difficult for some of you to hear. It was really difficult for me to talk about, so I'm going to go pet Sunny. Alright, guys. See you later. Bye for now.